Algebra 2. So good morning or afternoon whenever you're watching this. Today should be the 14th, Tuesday. Hopefully everybody had a good, refreshing, long weekend. And we're going to get back at it this week with some sequence work. Okay, so hope everybody's doing well, feeling okay, taking care of some things around the house for mom and dad, whatever you need to do to help out. So continue to do those things and do what you can, okay? Now, a sequence, what we're looking at this week, a sequence is simply a pattern. And here's our first example of a sequence, and you can kind of probably eyeball that as I arrow through the numbers here of what's happening. We'll get back to that in a second. But some basics of a sequence that we have to make sure we understand before we start diving into those is the first one here is those three dots at the end, that dot, dot, dot. Whenever you see that at the end of a list or at the beginning of the list, that means it continues with that same pattern all the way out. Okay, so whatever this pattern is here, well, we can go ahead and say what it is. We're adding 3. We would continue adding 3, and with that dot, 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 you just keep going. Just keep adding 3, okay? But each of these numbers here, the 15, the 18, the 21, 24, and 27, they're in a specific spot, okay? They're called a term. So like this 15 right here, it is in the first position, the first spot. The 18's in the second, and so on. Okay, so the first term is 15, the second term is 18, third term is 21, and so on down the line. All the way there, we got fifth term is 27. So what we say is, whenever we can look over here and see, hey, the third number in line is 21. So when we read this, the way you would actually read this A, you would say A sub 3. That means the third term. We're not going to say A sub 3. That's just hard to say. So when we see A sub 3, we say third term. And for ours, we would say our third term is 21. So each of these numbers can be referenced by what position they are in. So this little A sub n, this little number down here, the n is the position of the number in the list. So again, what could we say about that 27? We could say it's the fifth number in line. Okay, we could reference it by position. So here's our sequence. Get rid of that. Here's our sequence. Okay, and we've already kind of recognized what we would do here to go from 15 to 18, and then from 18 to 21, 21 to 24, 24 to 27, and so on. We would add 3. We're adding 3 each step we make. So what would make sense for us to do next? Well, we would add, and then on down the line, what will we continue to do? We would have to continue to add 3. So our next number, we would just simply say 27 plus 3 is 30, 30 plus 3 is 33, 33 plus 3 is 36, and if we needed to keep going, we could keep going. Then what could we say about that 33 right there? Well, we could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could say it's the seventh term. The seventh term is 33. Now the next example I have, when you start to try to eyeball your pattern here, 0, 3, 7, 12, 18, you can start thinking about that and say, well, what do I do from 0 to get from 0 to 3? Well, I added 3. But did I add 3 to go from 3 to 7? No, I added 4. Wait a second here. Well, what do I do to go from 7 to 12? I add 5. Okay, something's happening. What do I do to go from 12 to 18? I add 6. And we see a pattern develop. We're adding 3, adding 4, adding 5, adding 6. So we just follow that pattern. Next number in line, we should add 7. 18 plus 7, 25. Pattern would say add 8 for the next number. 25 plus 8 is 33. Add 9 for the last number that we're finding here. We get 42. So whatever our established pattern is, we just follow it. We may have to think a little bit about figuring out what this pattern is. Just kind of explore some possibilities here, just like I kind of talked through. Okay, and again, what could we say about that 25? We would say it's the sixth term. Sixth term is 25. If I counted those right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, it's the sixth term. Now, sometimes we got to do a little bit of work to figure out what our pattern is. If you start looking at this one, I'll give you a second here. And you start looking about and just kind of ask yourself some questions. How do I go from 1 to 8? Well, one way is to add 7. Well, what's 8 plus 7? Well, it's not 27. 8 plus 7 is only 15. Well, then how far did I go from here to here? I added 19. How do I go from 27 to 64? What is that? I added 37. So we added 7, added 19, added 37. That's not really a pattern. So sometimes you got to explore and kind of eyeball these numbers and see if anything sticks out to you here. So let's look at this one in this manner here. Our first term is 1. Okay, first term is 1. Second term is 8. Second term is 8. Third term is 27. Third is 27. Fourth term is 64. Fourth is 64. Does anybody see anything happening there pattern-wise? You got it? We're cubing. Okay. 1 cubed is 1. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. So those patterns can be anything as long as there's some kind of a pattern there that the list follows. So our next 3 numbers in line should be 5 cubed, 6 cubed, and 7 cubed, which would be 125, 216, and 343. Okay, so that's what we're doing today. We're just kind of making sure we understand the basics, the position of the number in line, how to follow the pattern, how to find the pattern. So I've got 4 problems for homework. That's it. Okay, so you can get those done either on the worksheet I provided or copy them on your own paper. It might be easier to copy them on your own paper. Just remember to put the date. And we are going to weekly grades this week. And I will get the 100 point put into the grade book as soon as possible. I gave everybody till Wednesday to get things done. So I'll start putting them in there probably on Wednesday and Thursday. Okay, so have a good day. Get to your homework. Turn in a picture of your homework for me today for your assignment. And we'll see you later.